There was a time when I believed love was a one-way street. Once upon a summer, in the midst of my high school years, I stumbled upon a remarkable encounter. It was during those long, golden days of freedom that I met him. He was the kind of person who could light up a room with his infectious laugh, the kind of person who made you feel like you were the only one in the world when he spoke to you. We were both young, full of dreams and aspirations, and we found a shared passion in our love for the arts. As the summer sun began to kiss our skin, our friendship began to bloom. We spent endless hours talking about everything and nothing, sharing our hopes and fears. I found myself drawn to him, like a moth to a flame. It wasn't just a mere attraction, it was a deep-rooted affection that grew with each passing day. He was not just a fleeting summer friend, but a significant person who left an indelible mark on my heart. The feelings were so intense, so overwhelming, that they took me by surprise. I had fallen in love, and it was beautiful. It was the kind of love that made me feel alive, the kind that made me believe in the magic of ordinary moments. Little did I know this love would lead me down a path of heartbreak. Summer ended, but our connection didn't. We continued to grow closer, sharing our dreams and fears. The leaves started to turn, and as the world around us changed, so did we. We found ourselves drawn to each other, like two pieces of a puzzle that fit perfectly together. Every shared laughter, every stolen glance, every whispered secret brought us closer. The world seemed to fade away when we were together, replaced by a comforting bubble where we existed solely for each other. Every day was a new chapter in our ever-evolving story. We explored the city hand in hand, finding joy in the simplest things. The way the sun set over the skyline, the laughter of children playing in the park, the taste of the city's best ice cream on a warm autumn day. Each shared moment was a precious memory, etched into the canvas of our hearts. But then, there were the times we were apart. The longing was unbearable. The world seemed gray and lifeless without their presence. Every moment away was a moment too long. The silence of their absence echoed loudly, filling me with a sense of emptiness. But even in the pain of separation, I found comfort, because it confirmed what I had begun to suspect. I was falling, and falling hard. The love I felt was like a blooming flower, growing each day, each moment. It was a beautiful feeling, yet it was laced with a twinge of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the depth of my feelings. But it was a fear I was willing to embrace, for the love was worth it. And so, as the seasons changed, so did our relationship. We moved from being two individuals to a couple, inseparable and deeply in love. Every day was a beautiful journey, filled with laughter, shared dreams, and a love that was growing deeper. I was in love, deeply in love, but there was a secret I was yet to discover. One day, a letter arrived, a letter that shattered my illusion of love. It was as if the universe itself had conspired to deliver this heartbreaking news. The paper was crisp, the handwriting neat, but the words it held were like venom to my heart. It began innocently enough, "My dearest friend," it read. But as I continued, the words started to blur, the sentences coiling like snakes around my heart. The letter revealed a love story that wasn't mine. It belonged to my significant other and another. It was a tale of stolen glances, secret meetings, and whispered promises. A tale that was not mine to live, but mine to endure. The pain seared through me like a hot knife through butter. I remember the feeling distinctly, as if someone had ripped my heart out and left a gaping hole in my chest. I felt betrayed, humiliated, and most of all, abandoned. Abandoned by the one person I thought would never leave my side. I confronted them, my heart pounding in my chest, my words stumbling over each other in desperation. I held out the letter, my hands shaking, my vision blurred with unshed tears. I asked for an explanation, a reason, a justification. But all I received was a silence that was louder than any words could have been. The silence lingered, hanging in the air like a shroud, suffocating me with its weight. It was in that silence that I understood that the person I loved another more, loved another with the intensity and passion that I thought was reserved for me. With the revelation came a wave of emotions. I felt anger, sadness, betrayal, but most of all, I felt a profound sense of loss. A loss of trust, a loss of love, a loss of the life I thought I had. The pain of loving someone who loves another more is an anguish I wouldn't wish on anyone. It's a pain that gnaws at your heart, that keeps you awake at night, that turns your world upside down. It's a pain that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, a pain that I wouldn't wish on anyone. In the wake of this revelation, I was left picking up the pieces of my broken heart. There I was, standing alone in the silence of my own despair. The echoes of his words, "I love her more," still lingered in the air like an uninvited guest. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but swallow it I must. It was the beginning of a journey into the depths of my own soul, into the caverns of self-discovery and healing. I had always believed that love was a bountiful garden, a garden that I had willingly tended to with all my heart. But I learned the hard way that love is not just about giving, it's about receiving as well. It's about balance, about reciprocity. In the crucible of my heartbreak, I learned the value of self-worth. I realized that I had been so engrossed in loving him that I had forgotten to love myself. I had been so consumed with his happiness that I had neglected my own. I had been so obsessed with the idea of us that I had lost sight of me. But as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, I started to heal. I began to understand that I was not a victim of unrequited love, but a survivor. I was not the object of someone's half-hearted affection, but the subject of my own self-love. I was not the moon orbiting around someone's world, but a world unto myself. I took this time to heal, to grow, to learn, and to love myself. I found solace in solitude, peace in my own company, and strength in my own resilience. I discovered that I was not just a lover, but a warrior, a phoenix rising from the ashes of my own heartbreak. Through this journey, I understood that love is not about losing yourself, but about finding yourself. It's not about diminishing your worth, but about enhancing it. It's not about settling for less, but about expecting more. And above all, it's about loving yourself enough to know when to walk away. I learned that love is a two-way street, and it's okay to walk away when you're not the one being loved back. Time heals all wounds, they say, and indeed it did for me. In the wake of that heart-wrenching revelation, I found myself adrift in a sea of sorrow, my heart aching with a pain I couldn't comprehend. It was a dark period, a time of questioning my worth and doubting my capacity to love again. Yet, as the days turned to weeks, and weeks into months, the darkness began to lift. The healing process was slow and arduous, but with each passing day, I felt a little stronger, a little more capable of facing the world. I began to understand that love, in its truest form, is about balance and reciprocation. It's about two hearts beating in harmony, two souls intertwining in a beautiful dance of mutual respect and admiration. My previous love, while intense and passionate, lacked this essential balance. I was giving more than I was receiving, loving more than I was loved. It was a painful realization, but one that ultimately led to my liberation. With newfound wisdom, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery. I learned to love myself, to value my worth, and to acknowledge my strengths. I realized that I was deserving of a love that was equal and reciprocated, a love that would fill me with joy rather than deplete me of my energy. And then, when I least expected it, I found love again. It was a gentle, nurturing love, a love that respected my boundaries and acknowledged my worth. It was a balanced love, a love that was reciprocated in every sense of the word. It was a love that healed my wounded heart and brought a sense of peace and contentment I had never known before. Through it all, I discovered that the pain of loving someone who loves another more is indeed a profound pain, but it's also a pain that can lead to profound growth and wisdom. It's a pain that can open the door to a love that is balanced, reciprocated, and truly fulfilling. That's my story, a tale of love, heartbreak, and healing. This story is shared by many, maybe even by some of you. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel. There's a new story waiting to be told every week. Thank you for listening to my story. It's a tale filled with the rawness of love, the sting of heartbreak, and the healing power of new beginnings. We all have our own stories, each one a tapestry of emotions, experiences, and lessons. Feel free to share your own tales of love, loss, and recovery in the comments below. Remember, no matter how tough things get, there's always a new beginning waiting for you. Until next time, take care.